All right, guys, let's talk about rounding. First of all, what is rounding? When we round a number, we're making that number simpler, but we're gonna keep it really close to the original number. So when we first learn rounding, we learn it with whole numbers. And so we might round a number like 73. All right, and we're gonna look at 73 and we're gonna say, is 73 closer to 70 or closer to 80? Well, 73 is closer to 70, so we could round that down to 70. So we're making numbers simpler, but keeping them close to the original number. This can serve a lot of different purposes in math. And in 7th grade math, we start to do a lot more rounding with decimals. All right, so I want you to keep in mind, we have a little phrase, you might have had a teacher use this before, and this tells us how we're gonna move a number up or down, okay? So it's 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest, okay? So when you're rounding, it's either gonna go up one number or it's gonna stay the same. It's gonna stay the same. I'll show you some examples of this in just a minute, all right? So when we're rounding, we're typically rounding with money. So let's look at a money problem, all right? Money is always written 2 places after the decimal point. So there's the tenths place and the hundredths place. Money is always written to the hundredths place. So if I was typing in my calculator and I found some numbers that came like this, but I needed to put them in money form, I would have to use rounding in order to get them into a money form. So how would I do that? So when you're rounding, you're gonna circle the number that you wanna end with. You're gonna circle the place value you wanna end with. So if we're talking about money, we're gonna have to circle that second place after the decimal. So I'm gonna do that on all of my problems right here, okay? And remember our rule. It's 5 or more, let it soar. 4 or less, let it rest, okay? That'll come in handy in just a minute. So I'm gonna look at these and I've circled the place value I wanna end at. Now I'm gonna look at my right-hand man, all right? Your right-hand man is your buddy. They're gonna help you know what to do. That's how we're gonna round. We're gonna look at our right-hand man. We never look to the left. We only look at that first right number right after the one we wanna stop at. And this will help us determine what we're gonna do with that number. And we have to remember our rule, 5 or more, let it soar, 4 or less, let it rest. So if I look at this number right here, I have this 8 and it's looking at this 7. It's 5 or more, so it's gonna go up 1. So it's gonna be $6.19. That 8 is the one that changed. It went up by 1. If I look at this problem right here, my 4 is the number I'm gonna end with. This is the one that's gonna either change or stay the same. I look at my 3, well, 4 or less, let it rest, means it's gonna stay the same. So this one could be written as $14.34. It didn't change because that wasn't higher than 5. Now this one can get a little tricky, all right? So let's pay attention here. I have 7.9972. So I circled my 9, that's my second place value. My hundredths place, it's where I'm stopping. I looked at my right-hand man, that's 7. That's more than 5, so it's gonna soar up 1. So let's think about that. If I have $7.99, and this is gonna go up by 1, so think of that as a penny. Let's do that addition. 9 plus 1 is 10, I carry my 1. 9 plus 1 is 10, I carry my 1. It's $8. And if you think about it, $7.99, if we're going up by 1 penny, just like the math we did, is $8. So this final answer would be $8.